Good evening. I'm again with Fozzie, and we're going to be talking about Pentre Fest again tonight. We are joined by Rob, head chef of Thrashatouille. Not
Mm-mm.
head chef, not head chef, no.
No, pastry chef. Because I really
Right.
like pie. That's the only reason.
Oh, right, okay.
That
So
used to be our intro, actually.
you will be doing two sets for us at
Good
Pentre
luck to you
Fest
all.
this year. So yeah. Um, so Fozzie basically railroaded you into this, didn't he?
You did,
Basically
yeah.
put you on the spot while we were on the radio. So you couldn't really say no. Now, I remember having a conversation with you a couple of years ago about this, asking you if you fancied to do it. And you were like, no, 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 no. It's really bad. We've tried something and it never worked. So why is it going to be okay this time?
Who said it was going to be okay? So, a few years ago, like Gerb and I did it in our previous band. I mean, sorry, our sous chef did it, and myself did an acoustic set with our previous band, and it just went. It was a train wreck. So we kind of thought it's been a few years. Let's see if we can do it and see if we can translate the songs to work. We gave it a go on Monday at our jam night in Deeside. We actually gave a few of them a go. If anyone saw it, it went really well.
So,
So it's back to the drawing board.
right. Okay. So, obviously, regardless of how bad it is,
It's only a
you know,
month.
we're just going to point and laugh at you anyway, and that's you know well within the spirit of
Isn't that just Thrashatouille
Pentre
anyway?
Fest. So, so obviously you're on your own tonight, so you can tell us anything you want about the other guys, and they'll never know because they're never going to watch it anyway, are they? So,
Well, you never know. They
have you?
might want to check in on me and make sure that I'm not saying anything I shouldn't say. The head chef
Well,
will have me.
well, we want you to say something you shouldn't say and give us some dodgy stories about the other guys.
Oh, it's okay. So I'm trying to think of a funny story. Well, actually, I can do one from Monday night actually because we took over Quayside, which is a basically a dance club. It's not no way is it a rock or metal bar at all. But we were allowed to take over it and do an hour set, basically on the dance floor. And Gerb decided he was going to. Sorry, our sous chef decided. I'm going to get used to that. Decided that he wasn't going to be on stage because he didn't want to. So now he's got a wireless. He was just at the bar the whole time, getting pissed for an entire set. In
Nice.
typical Gerb fashion. It was the first gig as well that we've done where we weren't wearing chef whites either.
Oh,
Oh,
Because it was a little bit different. It normal service resumes for the rest of the year, but we just thought because it's something completely different, we would go and be a little
so
bit weird.
is it like a normal sort of catering lifestyle where you normally have a Christmas party in the middle of January? So was it your Christmas party, which is why you weren't
Yeah,
dressed as chefs?
yeah, exactly. It was our Christmas party, so I think the head chef was still in his. The sous chef was repping our new t-shirts, which was quite nice. And then I was adorning the marvelous Greg's basic tracksuit on stage because it just looks amazing. Simple as that. But yeah, it was really weird playing in a club. But
Sorry, can I just confirm you have a Greg's tracksuit?
I do indeed, yes.
Can
sausage
we
roll
make
drifter.
sure? Can you make sure that you please wear, whilst the cunts are on stage at Pentrefest, your Greg's tracksuit?
Well, now you see, when the cunts are on, I've got a little bit of a plan because I've got the perfect t-shirt for them.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I would rather you didn't, to be honest.
What's wrong with Greg's?
They're a poor,
He
they're
hasn't
a
he
poor
hasn't
man
watched the,
sayers, aren't
he
they?
hasn't watched the interview.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh,
well, give me sayers any day of the week. Even now, it's Pound Bakery. At least the
well,
sausage rolls are bloody warm, not
yeah,
just
there
sat
is that.
there all day. You know.
Well, now you see, you brought me onto a story because we've been in the process over the past sort of few months of writing some new songs. So we've there was a story that was going around years ago about Greg's and a guy from our hometown who was sexually attracted to a pasty and therefore fornicated with it, burning his penis in the process, and then sued them and won. So we thought, why not write a song about it? So we did actually jam it for the first time on Monday. It's called Balls Deep in Greg. Uh, so depending on where it's at in terms of readiness levels, we might actually play it later on in the year. But yeah, there you go. Just as we were on the Greg's story, but that was hence the Greg's outfit. I even had the Greg's boxers as well. So I'll probably be wearing those on stage, so you can have a look at my sausage roll if you want.
I mean, I thought it was apple pie that was the done thing, but
That's the American version.
a steak pasty.
We're a bit
There's
more
nothing-
working class over here, aren't we?
A steak pasty is lovely. I love a good meat and tater pasty. Me.
So obviously when you're playing without your chef whites, was that like when Kiss took all the makeup off? That kind of impact.
No, not really. I think it was just because it was still food based, so it didn't really have the same impact as not wearing makeup. Yeah, it was just honestly, it was just a weird, crazy night. To be fair, on a school night as well, bizarre.
Okay, have you got? You just mentioned your new t-shirts. Have you got an example of one? Actually, quite good. As to be fair, all your t-shirts have so far. Are these only available in long sleeves though?
These are only available in long sleeve. Just because we've always wanted to have a long sleeve t-shirt, so we went back to there you go, Fozzie's showing off the pulled apart by Pop one. So we went back to John Pedley, who did the pulled apart design, and just threw braveries at him, and he came up with that design. It's amazing. It's really, really good. But yeah, it's only in long sleeve. If you want short sleeve, we do have the pulled apart ones as well. Maybe some more merch coming soon. I haven't quite got that yet.
But there'll be plenty available at Pentre Fest, obviously.
Well, we're hoping so, because the first 50, we've got 8 left.
All right.
Already. So we're hoping to get another order in before Pentre Fest. Fingers crossed.
Oh, it's nice that they're selling well. So
yeah, it definitely is.
So let's talk a little bit about your music then. Obviously, you're the UK's, well, as far as the world's only chef metal band as we know of, unless you've heard of others. So tell us a little bit about that and how the ideas come along.
So we're not the world's only, sadly. As far as we know, we're the UK's only chef metal band. There are other chef bands because there's Pizza Tramp. Well, there's food bands. Pizza Tramp are one that springs to mind. And there's an Australian band as well. I guess Acoustic kind of do the food stuff as well. But in terms of how we came up with a band, we're all actually chefs. We trained in France under Chef Gusto. And we sort of found a love while we were in Paris, not only for food, but for metal music. So when we came back to the UK, we all met up and we just sort of started jamming a few things, and the rest is history, as they say.
You really all you all went to France.
We all trained as chefs in France. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that true? You're not just
100% true.
Brass, like
100% true. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Not?
That's quite cool.
Beanie's not watched Ratatouille.
I was gonna say, if you worked it out, put it in the comments.
Right, okay.
That's why I was trying not to laugh.
I was really trying not to laugh then.
As a grown-up, a fully fledged grown-up, I've stopped watching cartoons unless the Family Guy.
I know Rob's small, but he isn't a rat.
Well, not quite that. No, it's not Little Chef.
Well, there you go. I tried to ask a sensible question. So get fucked now. When was the last time you stuck a sausage roll up your ass?
Do you know what, actually? I was just finishing my shift in the kitchen the other week. In other words, I was putting something in the microwave. And this girl came up to me and just sort of went, you're quite good looking, Rob. I thought, oh, cheers. Do you want to come back mine? And then she brought like some pasties with her. And one of them was, as you say, a sausage roll. So she decided to attach it with a couple of chains around her and, straight in me. She was a bit flaky though, to be fair. But
So we knew you were joking when someone came up and said you're quite good looking. So
oh wow,
Hey!
oh wow, wow.
right, I feel as though we're back on level terms now. So
All is square now. Yes.
yeah. So you got any new material?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So we've, as I say, I mentioned Balls Deep in Greg. So that one was a song we wrote years ago, but never actually finished it. So we kind of brought it back to life with a different theme to it. That one's nearly done. We've got one song that we have been playing live recently. I think we did it when we played Wrexham last. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Which is Attack of the Bludgeonays, which is the sequel to the first EP that we did. So it's basically our spaghetti monster that is sentient spaghetti bolognese that kills people, is now out on the loose, roaming the streets and just devouring people. So pretty simple, but it's a very heavy song. I quite like playing that one. It's got a very nice cheeky breakdown in it. And then we've got a third one, which is pretty much done as well. Back in the lockdown, we did an interview with Shelley who's now in Moshville, and there was a competition to make the best dish we would write a song about. We got a few entries, but they were mainly from people we knew. So we picked one that we didn't have a clue who it was, and it turned out to be Bangers and Mash. And he basically done just this mound of mashed potato with sausages sticking out the top with gravy coated on it. We thought that's brilliant, so we made Headbangers and Thrash.
Nice.
And it works as well.
It does,
Yeah.
and it's exactly what it says on the tin. It's thrash, very fast, lots of solos, nice breakdown. What more do you want, really?
Well, I'm happy with that. I like a bit of thrash,
Well,
you just have to write something about dragons now, and then you've got the set.
dragon meat. Let's have a dragon burger. Hell yeah!
Going on a quest to feed a dragon or something. I don't know.
I think every interview that we've done, Beanie's managed to mention dragons at some point in it.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Do you know what that's what one genre, because one of the things we have mentioning thrash is we do get asked to do a lot of thrash gigs, and we are not thrash metal. We have elements of it, but we're not really a thrash band because we go into whatever genre we feel like. Power metal is one of the genres we have not been into yet, but I'm not quite sure people really want to hear me sing.
Right. For those watching, here's a challenge for you. Right, because we like setting Thrashatouille challenges. We want you to come up with a food that would work really well in a power metal song.
That is, yeah.
There you go. So yeah, get in touch with Thrashatouille. Rob, what's your email address?
We've got one. I've just thought of it.
What's your Thrashatouille email address?
Thrashatouilleofficial@gmail.com. There you go.
There you go. Get in touch with Thrashatouilleofficial@gmail.com. Send in your power metal food suggestions, and they'll do a power metal song.
We'll see if we can do it. So, Beanie, would you say 3 Inches of Blood a power metal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, their top song is Deadly Sinners, isn't it? You would say.
It's probably the most popular song, yeah.
Yeah. I think we could parody that quite easily. Sunday dinner! I think that would work quite well. So that's another idea.
Well, but I mean, to be fair, they were a brilliant band. Song Preacher's Daughter is unbelievable. Proper good stuff.
I'm so glad I saw them. Actually, I was really happy I did.
Well, yeah, they played Wrexham a few times as well, and played with what's his name, Coal Chambers band, Devil Driver. And they supported. Well, I went to the gig and I didn't realise that. I thought it was just a 3 Inches of Blood gig, but it turns out they were second on the bill of an all-day festival, sort of the things that we do. And Bring Me the Horizon were headlining, and that was in Central. And yeah, I was like, who the fuck are these? And I was like, never heard of them. And so I messaged Cavey, and he says, oh, I'm not sure about them. Check them out. And then next thing you know, loads of kids with stupid fringes came in. And I thought, oh, okay. watched them for about 2 minutes and thought, this is shit.
That was probably me,
Fucked off.
actually. I did have a stupid fringe.
Did you?
Mhm.
That's why it's now going bald.
Well, were you at that gig in Wrexham though? No.
I've been going to gigs in Wrexham for quite a few years, to be honest. I think since I was about 16, 17, I think was the first gig I went in Wrexham. And that was a belter of a gig. That was Swallow the Sun, Insomnium, and Omnium Gatherum, with Impaled Existence as the openers, local support. That gig was just amazing. Since then, we've been to Hacktivist, played there as well at Wrexham Central with the Algorithm. That was a brilliant gig. And yeah, obviously, when we met you guys, we've been to loads of your ones as well. That was a cracking venue. Really did like it. And the owners were lovely. Cheap Jaeger bombs.
Yeah. Don't I know it, you bastards.
I think it's a theme.
This is nothing to do with me.
For Wrexham. Cheap Jaeger bomb.
It is, yeah.
Whenever you played, I'd walk in, and before I'd even said hello to anybody, I'd have a Jaeger bomb thrown in my face,
Our head chef just likes to make sure that you're pissed. I'm sorry, Kelly, on his behalf. We do it on purpose.
Let's get Beanie drunk so he can be even more of a bellend.
You don't need to be drunk to do that.
I know, that's the thing. So what are you doing with this new material then? Have we got an album coming up, an EP, or?
We're supposed to have been recording for the last few months, but I guess gigs just get in the way a little bit, and then it's got really cold at the moment, so we've not been able to practice as much. Lives get in the way a little bit.
The worst thing I find you can do for trying to sort out a band is become a promoter yourself, because that takes away all your gig time.
Yep. I can sympathise with that. I have to now try and work out what gigs we're playing, and it's really difficult because we've got loads of gigs coming up in the first half of the year, and trying to balance that with the gigs that we're doing, the festivals that we're doing as JTR as well, and then balance that with reviewing, which is making it even more difficult. So it's going to be a busy few months, but hell, we're up for it. For Thrashatouille, there's just so many gigs coming up. You're basically like the opener for us for the year, so we're looking forward to it.
We've got a few people saying that to us, that it's either the first or second gigs of the year. It's one of the reasons why we like to keep it quite early in the year, because it's less clashes. Bands seem to be more interested, and they seem to be hungry to get out on.
I don't know if it's just me though. I know we're doing this now, and this is quite useful, but I just see January as a pointless month.
Well,
I've found it a little bit weird because obviously you guys are running Metal to the Masses this year, but some of them like Sheffield, Leicester, and Manchester, they've already started. They're already on the ball on their Metal to the Masses. The heats are the first Manchester heat I went to on Sunday. They're already kicking it off. It's mad. I'm thinking, blimey, how soon's your final?
I was in Liverpool on Saturday for the Cold Puclesis gig.
I was so hoping to go, but trains can get in the bin.
Well,
the last train back, not even joking, was 9:30. I couldn't get one any later, so there was no point in me going because I'd have missed two bands. I was gutted.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it there as well, and it was good because it was a small venue. I don't know if you played the Outpost.
No, I haven't, but I've been there.
And it's a nice venue. Get a pizza, and it went down well. So that was my first gig of the year. Obviously, we're going to another one on Saturday where we're going to interview Grief in Rill.
I think I'm going to that as well, actually. Because I'm really, really intrigued to see what Grief are like now they've got a vocalist. Because I've not seen them yet with a vocalist, and I'm really, really excited.
Me neither.
I know what Zach is like as a vocalist from previous bands, and I'm quite excited to see them live with Zach as the lead singer, because obviously he was in Artist Fiction, that used to do really quite well with some of their shows, because they were played on Radio 1 rock show all the time, and they did like BBC Introduction and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it'd be nice to see him in Grief, because we know how talented Grief are, and then with him as the singer could be.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Find
actually.
out.
So, well, they're also on as well, aren't they?
Pentre
For-
Fest
Yeah.
they are, yes.
Yeah.
So
Same night as you.
Yeah, because I think the Friday night, if I remember rightly, is Ward 16 headlining.
Yep.
Yeah.
Apollyon, us, Leah, and Grief, is it?
Yeah.
that's
Did I
right.
get that spot on?
You did.
Yeah, you did
I
well.
like it on the radio. Yeah, we're hyped for it. It's such a good venue. Mclean's in Pentre. I love the venue. It's just great. It's got nice cheap beer, which is always a bonus if you're not driving. And then it's just got a massive room and a really decent stage. It's what more do you want? Great for serving donuts.
It's also Tim's birthday, if I remember rightly, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's on the Friday as well, so he's going to be absolutely wrecked.
Yeah. So if
So
he's
going to wear the cake
Anthony
instead.
Timmis, yeah, if you know
What's
Anthony
that,
Timmis, come down for Anthony Timmis's birthday on the 24th of February. Thrashatouille sets on. Do that. Buy Timmis a drink, because it's always funny to kind of carry him out the venue at the end of the night. And,
or leave him at the venue, one of the two.
Fold him into the back of Rob's car.
Who said I was driving?
You like to take pictures of him asleep anyway, don't you? So
yeah, it's the adventures of the sleeping Timmis. This is what you have when you have waiting staff. They do silly things, and you got to take pictures of them. They're like the bitches of the kitchen, aren't they?
So, have you ever thought? I mean, there's various themed restaurants out there in the world. Have you ever thought, having waiting on staff at your gigs, of going down the Hooters theme with Timmis and Northern's since disappeared off to the army or something, hasn't he?
No, he's back now. So
is he back? Is he?
Yeah. So
Hooters theme for Timmis and Northern, maybe.
Oh God, I've just thought of the. Oh no, that image has got to get out of my head. I've just eaten pizza and it's going to come straight back up. I don't want to see them in a bikini. I mean, it's bad enough when it gets a bit warm on stage and I have to, do the whole Michael Jackson, strip off. That probably makes most of the crowd very violently ill. So I don't really want, to. Oh no. I don't know what to say. I don't think either of them have any boobs anyway. So there's,
I was wondering where he was going with that, because the Hooters is like, it's about boobs, isn't it? So
it is. No, I mean, the waiting staff, we tried that.
You get some Chelsea buns.
I mean, the idea. If we were going to have, let's say, Hooters girls, we'll just use that. It would definitely have to be like a bikini or something like that. Just bacon bikini. I think that'd be great.
See, this is why you're in the chef-based metal band.
Always coming up with the good ideas,
So yeah, obviously now you've touched on it a couple of times there. You've got quite a lot of other interests, like your promotions now. You got your radio show. You do some reviewing as well. Let's talk about, let's give them a little bit of a plug as well. So you had us on your radio show when we were supposed to announce the headliners for the Saturday night, but obviously we couldn't.
We can say it on this one.
Yeah, we can say it on here. We can say it on here. But so to let everyone know who, in case they don't, what your radio show is all about, when it is, where they can find it, and all that stuff.
So it's the Mighty Rock Show. It's run most Mondays at the moment. I think Nikki and I are very busy at the moment, so it's not quite every Monday at the moment. But it's from 8 till 10 on Radio Northwich website live, and then we do have replays as well. We basically just promote small bands, small gigs, anything like that, and then have people on, so bands, chatting to them. We had yourselves, promoters. We managed to do a radio off as well. We had Moshville Radio come on to Northwich Radio, which was completely bizarre. And yeah, it's really quite fun trying to find new music. I find at least 3 bands every week, because Nikki will have just found something, and then we try and push other bands that we've had on before, or we played with, or something like that, someone we found, and try and push them a little bit on it. It's great fun, to be honest. I love doing the radio. It's I have to be very sane because I'm not allowed to swear, which is a fucking pain in the ass. So shout out to Nikki on that one. I'll give her a little plug there.
You know, I know we've done a few different radio shows, and there's only been one really where we've been allowed to say what we want, and that was when Nick did his Radio Deeside one, the Impact Zone, and he
Yeah,
used to make a point of actually saying, we can say what the fuck we want, sort of thing, But obviously, going on the other shows like yourselves, we've done the Power Zone with Danny and his roadie. We did
Moshville.
Cheryl's show on Halton Radio as well. So we have done a few.
I
But
know Moshville.
obviously,
You can say what you like, which is great fun. I'm hoping that we'll be going back on that one soon.
yeah, I did a full show with him last year to promote the last Pentre Fest, and it was a cracking night. We really enjoyed it. If he's up to doing it again, tell him to get in touch.
Yeah, I shall do. I shall do actually. I think he might be coming down as well. So if he is, hi
Awesome.
Shelley.
Hi, Shelley.
I don't know if Ricky is as well. If so, hi Ricky.
Hi, Ricky.
Well, yeah, they were great. They invited Gerb and I up to Glasgow well, I was reviewing their Moshville one. It's the first time I've ever been to Glasgow as well. And Ricky put us up for the night, and yeah, it was just great. We were like Kieran from Ash and Crown and Craig from Gutlocker as well, just all in the same place. It was just carnage. That's all I can say it was. I was really, really drunk, but it was just so funny. Just everyone piled into this front room on airbeds. Crazy, but it's great fun. I'm hoping to go. Hopefully, they'll do it again next year, and I can go again. Yeah, nice. Cracking lads.
Nice, and obviously you're doing your promotions now as well. You GTR, is it?
JTR, yeah. James, Timmy, Rob. That's what it stands for. Which no one has guessed that yet, obviously. Yeah, we've got Gerbfest round 2.
So tell us about Gerbfest.
New venue.
New venue.
New venue. This is a much bigger venue, much more camping space. We even have showers. I know. Oh my gosh.
Now we have no excuse.
Yeah, now we have no excuses. 2 days this time as well, to make it even better. They've got a full kitchen as well, which is mega. So the food should be absolutely on point. We've got a host of really good bands on as well. Some of our favourites over the past few years that we've just sort of found. So we've got bands such as Rosenbridge, North Wales band, and Grief as well, another North Wales one. Cool. Who else have we got? Existentialists coming all the way up from Essex. They are absolute filth. They're brilliant. We've got Incursion coming up from Cardiff as well. They're going to be the most bizarre band you've ever seen. This sort of apocalypse themed metal, but it's really heavy, really groovy. And there's a fight over hobnobs. That's gonna be crazy. As well as like having Vulca, who we had in Wrexham, Portrayal, who you guys have got at Pentre as well. That Karma's Puppet, and loads of other bands. We're trying to cover every genre. That's the aim. And we've still got 6 more to announce as well for that one, which is mega.
You want to give us an exclusive now?
Give you an exclusive? I'd love to, but I've not told any of the bands, so I can't.
All right, okay.
But hopefully that we've got 2 more that we've just got to finalise the bits on, including a headliner. And then there we go. Now we've got 4 ready to go, and then 2 more. We're just waiting for the final green light, basically, and then we'll be there on it. In the meantime, we've got other gigs coming up. We're doing those jam nights or open mic nights every Monday at the Quayside in Northwich. 10th of February, we've got the Pentre Fest warm-up show.
Ooh,
yeah,
you might be able to order one of those hats as well, because if you like that hat, they are available at www.goodfootaudio.co.uk to pre-order in time for Pentre Fest.
And you can look as cool as me. I've just not sold that, have I? Yeah. You're not going to sell any now. Sorry. But yeah, we've got a Pentre Fest warm-up, so thank you for letting us do this as well. So we picked a few bands which we thought you guys would like or you'd like to have on or you've had on before. So we've got Dystopian Sun, who you guys had on in Wrexham and of doing your Metal to the Masters as well. I was blown away by them. I thought they were fantastic. So
yeah. It's
really good.
surprising the amount of talent that's coming out of North Wales at the moment. It's all sort of like creeping out of the edges. It's quite nice.
It really is, yeah. So yeah, we've got them on. Then we've got the guy who's done all our designs, John Pedley's band, Beyond Salvation. They won Metal to the Masses, I think 2018 maybe. I can't remember exactly
Yeah,
what year.
thrash band, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant thrash band. Yeah.
Absolutely. So they were just like, we've got to have something that's sort of not from North Wales, and something which I would really love to see over in North Wales, because I don't think you've had them on yet. So
No,
we
for
thought,
some reason we've never been able to get our ourselves together with them. So, but I'm sure we will in the future.
oh, definitely. And then obviously your Melt to the Masses winners, 2020. Oh, is it 2021? 2021.
2021. The sit down winners.
Seventh.
Severance, yeah.
Seventh coming down to headline. What I'm going to find really funny is if you've not been to the Salty Dog, the stage is not the biggest. Like, we're only a 4-piece and we struggle to fit all 4 of us on stage. Looking at Dave's kit, I'm not sure how we're going to fit even the cabs on stage with Dave's kit, but we're going to try and work it out and see where it goes. But it's a cracking little venue. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We've also 26th of February, so the day after Pentre Fest, we've got Forlorn, part of their tour. It's the last date on their tour. They're at the Salty Dog as well. We haven't announced the 2 bands that are supporting them yet, but that'll be coming soon. We've got another one in April that we've not announced yet. I've got all that ready to go this weekend, so that might be out just after this video goes out. So tune in Saturday onto JTR page and it'll be there.
Cool.
And then obviously we're going to have a Gerbfest warm up as well. So we've got the date confirmed for that, but no bands yet. So that's going off.
So we just talked about your other stuff. Do you want to talk a bit about your reviewing for Ever Metal?
Excuse me. Yes. I'm starting that off again. It's not just Ever Metal. Also review for Rockwell as well. Rockwell Unseen. So I've got a few of those ones coming up. It is fun reviewing. It's the only difficult thing I find with reviewing when I'm in a band is if you end up going that this set didn't work or something didn't work, and then there can potentially be some animosity between bands, and it's trying to separate the two can be quite difficult with it. But it is really, really fun. I do enjoy.
We've never received any comments about your reviewing.
Oh well. I'll have to message you.
It is an interesting one that somebody that's in a band goes out and reviews another band when, shall we say, when you're in a position where you're both on signed bands and you've not really reached the next level. But yeah, sometimes there's a bit of back and forth, I would say. But I want to say on here right now that everybody is entitled to an opinion.
Exactly.
And opinions can be helpful.
Yeah.
Well, when I've read your reviews, I've thought I don't think you've ever been harsh on anyone. You know, everyone's music taste is going to be slightly different, but
I
don't
think of one I was harsh.
No, you might have been harsh because they were crap, you know, but you didn't just come out and say, "Oh, these were shite." You came out with the reasons, and it was it wasn't just like, "Oh, I didn't like them, they were shit." You know, it was you had your proper reasons for it, and you put out what them reasons were. You know, and
exactly. And for it's very difficult when you look at different genres. For example, if you go to the deathcore metalcore scene, when you watch them on stage, they're normally much more lively, bouncy around. Look how happy we are! Look how death we are! Whereas, as Yvonne said, this when you're singing, it's such a stereotype of it, but it works for that genre. But you wouldn't really go and see, let's say, a black metal band and expect the vocalist to be bouncing around everywhere. It just wouldn't work as well. So sometimes, I guess it must be the same as if you're judging the Metal to the Masses. You got to take each genre for what it is, as opposed to I like this genre, so that's got to go through. Whereas something which may not be your favorite genre, for me, I'm not a big fan of power metal. Don't kill me, Beanie. But if you can watch a power metal band and go, actually, that was really good. It was tight. The vocals were on point. they pump the crowd up how they would do for that genre. That may have been the best band in the night, even though they weren't your favorite. And that's, I guess, what you're kind of doing with reviewing as well. Even though you really like a band, they might not be the best band there. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any animosity with any bands, but I have had a bit of backlash from it sometimes. But you're gonna get it, I think, and it doesn't really matter if you're in a band or not. As a reviewer, that's part of the trade. We don't get paid to do it. We do it off our own backs, and 99% of the time, there is at least one line in every review that you can use to promote yourself somewhere in it. I try and make sure I put at least one line that I would put on a Thrashatouille EPK or something like that. Just, there's always something there. There's always something good. No band I think I've ever seen has been 100% shit.
Do you feel as though since you started promoting, you've started looking at the bands a little bit different, looking out for other things? Because I know myself, and especially when we're doing the metal to the masses, obviously you've got to look at like the professionalism and things like that as well. But you also start looking at the interaction, how they set up, not just their equipment, how they set up off the stage, what the guys are doing, when the other bands are on and things like that. Has that influenced your reviewing as well?
It has. It's actually influenced both sides of it as well. So the reviewing and the promoting, and then as well, sort of we'll watch sometimes a band do something a little bit differently, and we'll be like, do you know what, that's a really good idea. I'm going to start doing that with Thrashatouille, for example. So you get to take influences from everything. But yeah, certainly the way that bands act off stage is a big one for me. Everyone has lives, so it's not always going to be a case that everyone can stick around and watch every band, especially if they're traveling and they've got to travel back. That can't always be the thing. It's nice to have at least one member of a band stick around for the whole night. To me, at least it's an effort. As I say, everyone does have lives, but yeah, the setting up and setting down thing, watching people faff about, that's it annoys me. If you're going on stage and you've got your cymbal stands, set them up beforehand, put them on stage. It's so much quicker. Don't just go on stage and then start setting your stands up and screwing your cymbals on, or then when you finish, you're unscrewing your cymbals. It's just a waste of time. Just take them off and do it on your own back. That's one of my gripes. That is definitely one of mine. So when we did Gerb Fest, we had two roadies as well, as you probably saw, where we'd literally just go, right, the stuff's going off one side of the stage. It would just pick the stand up, off it goes. There wasn't any faffing with it, which it makes life so much easier, and it gives the band after you time to set up, and then they get more time to line check or sound check. So you're helping other people out just by simply moving it rather than unscrewing it. That's one of them. There are loads of things that you sort of notice a little bit differently. What people say when they're on stage, how they interact with each other, how they interact with the crowd is a big one for me. Again, genre depending. Have to say genre depending. If you watch a prog band, again, they're not going to be hyper. They might just play one song or two songs, and they'll just flow into each other. So you're not really going to have "Let's Go Wrexham" or something like that, because that's not part of it. But it's, again, how they show themselves on stage it's something I really look at, to be fair.
Yeah. So as you now getting a bit more experience with not just the writing and your performing and things like that, now you've been doing it for quite a while, not just with Thrashatouille. I know you've been in other bands before then. Do you get a lot of the younger bands now coming up to you asking for advice and things like
that? Sometimes. I think I did a lot of the reviews for the Metal to the Masters in Manchester last year, and I did get a few of the bands coming up to me after the gig and going, "What did you think of that, honestly?" So yeah, I get it a little bit, and it is quite nice, to be honest. I'm working with a band at the moment, Leave No Witness, who we've got on at Gerb Fest. They've just started back out. They've only done a handful of gigs, but we're really trying to push them to get out there a little bit, and they're doing really well, to be fair. They've got quite a lot coming up. But yeah, there's a couple of bands that do sort of go, "Oh, how would you improve this?" But then again, that's a really good thing, and I think anyone in a band, if you get someone else coming up to you asking for advice, it's a good thing to do. They're not stealing your ideas. They're just going, "How could we be better?" Or "How did you do X, Y, Z?" You just help everyone out a little bit, and I think, what gear are you using? Does that sound? What if I change this tone on guitar? Or what symbols are you using, because that china sounds amazing or something like that. You always want to help people out. That's always been my motto. It's not against each other. It's a community, and that goes again for things like Metal to the Masses. It's one thing that I would look at if I was judging is how friendly the bands are between each other. Are they sort of standoffish and sort of like we're against you, or are they sort of like supporting each other? That would be a big one for me. I don't know if that's what you guys look at. But...
Well, obviously there's a lot of things, and quite a few. I mean, I've never played in bands, but I've been around them most of my life. So when bands, you get it a lot of the Metal to the Masses when bands come up to you and they do ask you and say, what can we do, and things like that. And especially if it's a new band, I just tell them just play gigs. So just get out there and play. There's no substitute for experience. Sometimes they listen to you. Sometimes they just walk off in a huff and think you're being a bit of a prick. Drunk Beanie quite often is, but I think it's good because I will turn around and say to a band like, well, there's Rob Sutton over there, Thrashatouille. He's been doing this for a while. Go and see what he thinks. He can give you a different bell, and obviously with Fozzy, he does all the sound and stuff like that. And it's one of my pet hates is when I see bands ignoring the sound guy, especially during the line checks. And I think, and if whoever the sound guy is, if he tells you to turn something down, turn it down, because if you're not listening to the sound guy, then you're going to sound crap, and you're going to blame the sound guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I talk about a situation. I was doing the Metal to the Masses in Liverpool years ago when Sal from Whiplash had it.
We did
and
that.
I won't
we did
mention
one of
the
those.
name of the band. Pardon?
We did one of those.
Yeah.
I'm not hoping it's not us.
It was the year. No, it wasn't you. It was the year when Scare Tactics won it.
That was the year we did it.
Was it? Oh, right. Okay. Well, I judged you then.
You could very well have done actually.
What band was it?
It was Synapse. We were in we played with them in the first heat. Our heat was there was Synapse. There was a black metal band. I can't remember the name. Lazarus Syndrome and Scare Tactics.
Ah, right. So Lazarus Syndrome and Scare Tactics went through.
Yeah. We were a very new band back then as well. That was I think first Metal to
Masses. What were the four bands in the heat? Just trying to pull down his bean he's talking about. So he liked Lazarus.
No, it wasn't that heat. It was they played that year in the Metal to the Masses. And basically the guitarist, and he's standing on there and he's playing away. He's doing his widdlies, and I like widdly bits and stuff like that. And I could see the sound guy saying to him, right, can you stop now? Can you do this? Blah, blah, blah. And he just kept ignoring him. And in the end, the sound guy had to go up on the stage and take the guitar off him to stop him so he could sound check everyone else. That
definitely wasn't our heat then.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But obviously, just for that, you can't send him through, can you? So. No. But if they'd have won the crowd vote, they'd have gone through.
Exactly.
We've experienced it in our Metal to the Masses, where certain people just want to do their own thing and don't want to take any information on board, don't want to make life easy for the crew, don't want to make life easy for the sound engineering team, and unfortunately they're only stopping themselves from going further in life.
Yeah,
they get a reputation and it's unfortunate, and they just need to take it on board and move forward.
Yeah,
exactly. That it's the easiest thing to do. If you're nice to everyone, if you listen to everyone, everyone's got experience in different ways. It doesn't matter how big a band you are. There'll be bands, like Metallica will probably see a band that's maybe only done 20 or 30 gigs and go, I didn't even think to do that. It might be just a way that they set up before stage or something like that. It could be so tiny, but you're always learning, and it doesn't. It just because you've done it for 20 years doesn't mean that you're not going to learn something new. The same as if you've done it for only a couple of months doesn't mean you can't teach someone else something. So it's all about, for me, networking, everyone working together. Again, with that sound guys, lighting guys, stage hands, bands, roadies, anything really. Everyone's there as one big thing and to make the scene better. That's my view anyway.
So just to flip this completely on its head now, apart from giving advice, you also did some roasts for bands, didn't you? You were doing
I need to start those back up, actually. I need to start those back up. They're great fun, yeah. the roasts were basically just an idea that I had that I sort of noticed that everyone in reviewers in general tend to be quite nice. You don't really get these horrible reviews. Metal Hammer stopped doing the ratings out of 10 for their live ones and things like that. And it was like, okay, you're just literally going, this was what they did on that. Well, this is their set. There was no opinion in it. So I thought, right, okay, let's be nasty to people, deliberately nasty to people. So I got bands to message me and pick a song. So I didn't just go out and, randomly roast the bands that they didn't know it was happening. I got full permission to do it. And yeah, some of them were really good. Betrayal was probably one of my favorite roasts. Budget Carnifex, MySpace era deathcore that was just basically a pile of wank. But that was a great fun one to do. I think I called I Am the Wreckage.
I might actually read their out as their introduction at Pentre Fest.
Are you ready for Budget Carnifex? It was the other one I did. I think I had Elimination as well. I think it was definitely Elimination. And the first thing I said, oh well, they're from Norwich, so high six. It was great fun. You can just sort of pick something random out. Oh, Dire Thorns was another one. I said basically the naughty kids because they didn't do their homework. But yeah, that was great fun. I really do need to get back on that a little bit. And I still got a list of bands, but some of them just don't come back to you when you message them and go, right, do you still want a roast? So yeah, I probably should get back on that. But it is a bit of fun, the roasts. It's a bit tongue in cheek, a little bit not serious. I've not had anyone come back to me on those and gone, that was a bit too far. So yeah, they work quite well. I'm glad I've not yet, and I have said some pretty dark things, to be honest. In Black Mass, I think I said it basically sounded like she was swallowing 20 guys come at the same time, and then tried to do vocals. Salty. But yeah, it's slam. That's what, and I think she's actually writing a song based on that roast as well. So I think it's Dum Dum Gargle Metal or something like that. There is actually going to be a song from the roast, which is really funny. But a few of the other metal guys have started doing a couple of the roasts as well. So yeah, it is a really fun thing to do. Actually, it's different perspective on it.
So obviously you're quite a busy fella. Have we missed anything out?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Thrashatouille.
Oh yes. So yeah, I'm guessing sort of one of the questions. What can you expect from a Thrashatouille service at Pentre Fest this year? So on the Friday is going to be a inverted commas normal menu. I'm not sure if we're going to throw one of the new ones in yet. Don't know. We haven't written the menu yet, but it's still going to be really heavy. Expect a load of inflatables. We're going to get some more ice creams, inflatable ice creams. They're going to be bouncing around everywhere. Someone's going on a donut, probably Timmy's because it's his birthday. And anyone else who wants to go on a donut, feel free. We always love a crowd surfer on a donut.
I run away. As soon as the donut comes out, I run away. Like, I'm too fat for that sort of thing, man. Honestly. The scariest thing we had was actually one of your gigs. It was the first gig we did last year when we were with Human Hell, Beyond Extinction. Absolutely sound like I love the Beyond Extinction. Like I still talk to them a lot. They're really cool. But during our set, we were doing Slamwich, and there was just donuts flying everywhere. I think one got launched over the bar, and we got told that the donut has to go. But I just remember everyone slam dancing, and this poor bar staff saw a glass had been knocked over. Went to go and clean it up right as we were about to break down, and bless her, she got a boot to the face. She was all right, but that was a bit sort of like moment. But yeah, expect a lot of inflatables. If you don't like slam, then I think Jaffa Cake's a biscuit. So don't do that. I nicked that from Raised by Owls, and I don't care. And probably some violence. We might do a wall of death to whether you think pineapple should be on pizza or not.
It should.
No.
Sorry, is this both of you saying no, it shouldn't?
No. It definitely should be on a pizza.
There you go. And Beanie, you're saying
chance. No chance. No.
Well, Fozzie, I'm with you. I actually think it does. But we're a 50-50 split in the band as well.
Yeah. Well, Beanie doesn't eat real food, so
I've got. Listen, they brought back Heinz Beans pizza. and that's made
I
me
did
happy.
see that. I did see
Yeah.
that. I need to try that. That looks amazing.
It's
I
awesome.
definitely-
Yeah, I think as far as I know, there's only Iceland that has them though. So
I'm going down to
So-
Iceland as well.
Rob, probably one of the most important questions that we could ask you, which is it's quite a serious question. I've got to put it out there. Thrashatouille, obviously, very serious chef metal band. You're all serious musicians. You take a lot of time to make sure that you write the songs to be as funny as they possibly can. There's lots of effort that goes into the artwork to make it all tie in with the theme. Which is the best canteen you've been to at a gig venue in the UK?
It's got to be Mclean's, hasn't it? I saw where you're going there.
Toe in the line.
It is one thing that is lacking at a lot of venues. There's not enough venues with food. There's a couple of venues which I've been to that I haven't played. So like the Waterloo, I think you guys have been there in Blackpool.
Mm-hmm.
That has a stone baked pizza van out
Yeah.
the front. There's a takeaway trailer thing outside the Hairy Dog in Derby, which is really nice as well.
It is actually, yeah. Shout out to that place.
Oh, I love that place. That is one of my.
And a
I
curly
love that
sausage
venue.
there, wasn't it?
A curly sausage. It's like a pig's tail. That's what you're
It
eating
was,
there.
yeah.
Eating a pig's tail.
Cumberland sausage in a bun. It's what you want at a gig, especially after you've had about 25 Doom bars.
If you put bacon on between two pieces of bread, what do you call it?
Bacon between two pieces of bread.
Yeah. What do you call
Bacon
it?
butty.
Thank you. It is a bacon butty, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because we're from the northwest. You go down
that's
south,
'cause
they say all sorts of weird stuff.
If you go down
Okay.
south, they don't even
it's
like
not
gravy
up
down
north,
there. So
Yeah, it's wrong.
Yeah,
I
we're going to the Midlands.
I went
possibly
down south and asked for chips and gravy once, and they looked at me as if I was weird.
I mean,
You are?
Yeah, but not for chips and gravy.
No, not for that. No,
It's not like I'm putting a pineapple on a pizza.
there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, we did have a giant inflatable pineapple and a giant inflatable pizza. I'm gonna have to get some more at some point when we write a song about pineapple on pizza, and just have one side of the crowd try and get a pineapple on top of the pizza. I think it'd be great.
A very serious question here, Beanie. Right? Does fruit belong on a pizza?
Well, yes.
Well, you see, now you're going to try and trip me up, aren't you? You see, because obviously tomatoes are fruit, right? So I know exactly what you're trying
He's
to do.
cleverer
Right?
than he
First
looks.
of all, I've got 2 points here. Right. First point, right, is this interview is with Thrashatouille, not with me. Right? Okay. So you should be the questions should be directed at Rob, right?
I've already answered.
Second of all, tomatoes are absolutely rubbish, right? If you have tomatoes on their own, raw or fried, they're rubbish. But ketchup and puree are awesome. Tomatoes shit, but tomato ketchup and tomato puree are awesome. Yeah. That's
Heinz,
it.
if you want to sponsor Thrashatouille, we'll more than happily take it.
But then
Having
Heinz
said that, we
tomato
need to be
ketchup's
sponsored
not
by
the best
Mackey's.
either, is
First
it?
band endorsed by ketchup.
Well, we would love an endorsement. We're trying to get it from McDonald's. They didn't want it. We wrote a song especially for them, so because of that, I changed the lyrics, so it's now Whopper Wednesday.
King Kraken tried Kraken rum, and Rich, if you watch that interview, it's hilarious. But Rich got in touch with Kraken rum, and he tried to speak to them in a pirate accent, and they reply, "You have to watch the other interview to find out what's happening."
But you can't watch it yet because one, you're on here, and I'm going with the point thing now. Two, he's not put it out yet. It's tomorrow.
There's a link below.
Yeah, it'll be.
There you go.
You've
not put it out yet, have you? The Kraken one.
It will go out when we finish recording this, which is 19th of January. It'll go out about 9:30.
Yeah. So by the time people are watching this, it'll be out.
As it features Rich from King Kraken talking about the fact that they're on Kerrang Radio on the 20th of January at 10 a.m. or between 10 and 1.
Wow.
John Doom show, apparently.
Are we on the radio? Probably not.
Northwich.
But talking of endorsements and stuff like that now, Yeah, I mean, you could literally take your band to practically anywhere and ask for an endorsement because most places do food. There's a lot of food. You know, I'm sure
I mean,
I'm sure you could try.
it feels a little bit like at the moment that we have a little bit of an endorsement or a sponsorship with Keyside's pool team, because every single member, as soon as we brought the new t-shirts out, every single member of the pool team bought one, and all of our staff bought one. So it's just like whenever you walk in there, it's just a sea of Thrashatouille t-shirts, which is a little bit bizarre. But yeah, I think they're going to do the head chef. I think is going to make us some dinner at one point there. So I think we're in. We're in. Maybe we'll have to have a dish named after us.
You could work on removing Lad Baby from the Greg's brand.
Who the hell is Lad Baby?
The sausage roll grifter.
Definitely hasn't kept in touch with the cunt Lad Baby rivalry during Christmas.
This is the second time someone's mentioned Lad Baby to me, and all I think about is that really weird porn that and it's
Christmas #1. He beat the cunts.
That's why I didn't listen to it.
Christmas #1.
Why would I listen to it?
So what you should do is forget Greg's.
Called Feed the UK in your food-based
band. Go and get a sponsorship from Pound Bakery.
That's a good idea. Pound Bakery is
lush.
£1.30 bakery.
Our sausage rolls are fucking warm.
£1.30 bakery.
You don't want a cold sausage roll. You don't want a cold sausage. It wouldn't feel right in your bum. You've got a band playing the cunts, as we've mentioned a few times. So they're very Tory, aren't they? They really like their Tory party. So they're going to be singing stuff like Boris Johnson is a god.
A great chap.
He's a really fine chap. You've got some budget Carnifex bands. I'm so glad you went out spending loads of money on bands for this one. Who else have you got on there? You got a clown. Actually, have you just bought Shakespeare a lot as well?
Shakespeare a lot.
Yeah, isn't that Ward 16?
Ward 16. They're horror, aren't they? Horror.
Yeah. I mean, it's a phenomenal lineup. In fairness, I'm just taking the mick out of a few bands because I can, and anything goes. But I love all the bands on. If you want to go, buy tickets. Buy a hat. Buy tickets. There you go.
And just to add, Fozzie will add the ticket link down there. And now it looks like I'm pointing at you, Rob.
No, it doesn't. It looks like you're both pointing.
Ticket link will be underneath this video, as it will be
in the description.
All the videos. So yeah,
I'm going to throw this out there just as a question and see if I can try and probe for an exclusive. Pentre Fest 2024. Have you thought about it yet?
Yes.
Have you got any bands confirmed?
No.
Oh, well, that I can't get an exclusive.
Right, Rob. So you want an exclusive, right?
Yeah.
I can't give you anything for Pentre Fest, but what we can give you is 29th and 30th of September, 2023.
Oh my God, you've given us dates.
New Metal Fest. North East Wales Metal Productions Festival. 2 days, Pentre Fest format, but in Wrexham.
Whoa.
Acoustic stage, main stage, multiple
and
bands.
My birthday.
Friday to Saturday.
And your birthday
as well.
It's my birthday bash, yeah.
Oh, 2 days worth of new metal. You're going to feel like you're back in the early noughties.
No,
Bring out your baggy jeans and your wallet chains.
It's New Metal Festival, as in North East Wales Metal Productions Festival.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But we're quite happy to put new metal bands on. So yeah, we'll put new metal bands on.
Yeah, I think you should put some new metal bands on now.
Look, the lineup, if you pause, you might see it.
I totally saw it. Oh my God. No, like a new metal band playing a new metal festival. That sounds awesome. New metal. Yeah. There you go. Facebook.com/Thrashatouille. I think that's what it is. We are also on Big Cartel. If you want any of our merchandise, that is Thrashatouille at Big Cartel/Thrashatouille. They are all on our Facebook page. We're also on Instagram and Twitter, as well as doing YouTube channels where we review Happy Meal toys, we make random lyric videos, and shout crap at each other. I think that's it. Oh, we're on Spotify. I know. So, Rob from Thrashatouille, when are you playing at Pentre Fest? 8:30 on the Friday. I knew it was 6 p.m. on the Saturday. If you forget, we've got it on our Facebook as a banner because I was told to, otherwise I was going to get beaten. Okay, so March, here we go. This is going to be mega. We've got a tour which is coming out. I can't announce that one yet, but we are playing in Blackpool at the Talbot on the 3rd. On the 4th of March, we are playing with Agent 47 on their birthday bash at the Star and Garter in Manchester. We've got a tour we're doing with Chaplain and Hands of Attrition, which is in places like Nuneaton, Coventry, Rotherham, Birmingham itself, and Worcester. We're doing Slaughterhouse Fest with likes of Red Meth and Divine Chaos. That's in Birmingham. We've got obviously Gerb Fest. We've got Unearth's Metal Weekend in July as well. That's a packed out festival. We've got Playing Stoke headlining a Friday for Who Let the Dogs Out, which is all for rescue dogs. Exactly. There's so many gigs we've got coming up, and there's so many more to be announced as well. We are absolutely smashing it this year. So we're going to be everywhere. We're going to be like the plague, or food poisoning, or Subway shops in Manchester, because they're fucking everywhere.
And I'm sure we'll get you in Wrexham at some point as well.
We want to be back in Wrexham. Definitely. Need to come back to Wrexham. There you go. There's a load of gigs.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Rob.
No problem, Ian's. So this was me bored a couple of nights ago, a couple of weeks ago. So I made a video for Brain Freeze to that. This is about when you eat too much ice cream and your brain hurts, and then you melt away and feel shit after asking your mum for £1, and she wouldn't give it to you, but you still want an ice cream. Fuck inflation. It's not like fucking $1.99 for a Mr. Whippy. What the fuck's that about? Anyway, this is Brain Freeze.
For some